Venerable Principal, worthy colleagues, and dear students. Today's topic of discussion is stress and its management. In the present time, each of us, without exception, is suffering from some kind of stress. The level of stress may be low or may be high. Stress leads to many kinds of health disorders. Sometimes the level of stress reaches to such an extent that person may undergo depression, even the death. On this very that person goes to the death level of that. Sometime back in US, an experiment was conducted on a prisoner who was sentenced to death by the court of law. He was supposed to be hanged till death. The prison officials decided instead of hanging, they told the prisoner that he would be bitten by cobra and he would die of poison of cobra. They took him to a room, tied him to a chair, put a mask on his face, closed his eyes, and told him now the cobra will come and bite you and you will die there. So the level of stress in that person, thinking of that I will be bitten by the snake, the stress level kept on increasing and increasing and increasing. Or sometimes, what happened? As a part of experiment, the official goes, just would say needle on his foot with a force as a cobra has been done. After some time they say the person is dying. So no poison, no cobra, nothing of any sort. The level of stress just by thinking that I am going to be beaten by the snake, cobra and I will die, and that the person dies without any poison whatsoever. So this is I am telling you that level of stress goes to such a high level that person can go to the depression as well as death. Okay. Now, person. We being the responsible citizen of this country, it becomes our moral duty to find out ways and means to manage the stress and educate the society so that society becomes free of stress. Now with this remark, we pass on to our main topic, stress and management. That's managing stress. The first thing comes, what is how to manage the stress? It is a path to increase inner strength and make the life stress-free, peaceful, happy. Now in your mind this thing will come, what is this inner strength? This will I will discuss on the later part of the my schedule. Now this is the path to increase inner strength and make the life stress-free, peaceful and happy. Now what is stress? It is an inability to cope up mental, emotional, physical and spiritual well-being under certain situations or conditions, and these situations are the financial status of a person, prolonged sickness, failure in every field of life, unhappy marital life, failure or loss in business. These are a few examples which I am giving you over here. There are lot more reasons under which are the circumstances or the situation under which a person undergoes stress. Now, next. Now, stress-related diseases. The stress-related diseases are depression, anxiety, unhappiness, agitation, mental and emotional problem, blood pressure, hypertension, stroke, gastric problem, immunity suppression, coronary heart diseases, headache, and asthma. Now, what is the damaging role of the hormones as per stress? Whenever there is stress, the stimulus reaches the hypothalamus. From the hypothalamus, it goes on to the adrenal gland. Then the adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla speaks adrenaline, and excessive amount of the secretion of the adrenaline is going to increase heart rate, blood pressure, and respiratory. Then the as stress is there, the pituitary sends gland sends message. No, whenever there is stress, stimulus releases the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland secretes adrenocorticosteroid hormone. Adrenocorticosteroid hormone, it acts in the adrenal gland has two parts, the medulla and the cortex. Medulla, I told you that secretes epinephrine or adrenaline. Now the cortex secretes corticosteroid. Two types of corticosteroids are studied. Type 1, what they can do, they raise the sugar level and they depress the immunity. So type 2, it raises sodium retention, which is responsible for hypertension, heart diseases, and joint inflammation. There are some unknown pathways which cause stress, and they are give rise to shock, decrease of the body weight, ulceration of gastrointestinal tract. Now, what are the different types of stress? One is the personal stress, family stress, traffic stress, school and educational stress, job and effort. These are the type of stress. Now, individually considering what is the personal stress. Personal stress is persons involved only single, that's the individual. The stress that individual feels, what is the cause of those individuals? That the stress may be due to the physical health of a person. Nature, second, psychological nature of a person. Then the person going for a competitive examination and what is the psychological changes coming in him. The first thing that when person is going to suffer from prolonged disease like chronic diseases like tuberculosis, leprosy, diabetes, disease, cancer, and many other diseases. So what happens? This is associated with the person level. A person lying on the bed suffering from the cancer, what will be feeling? He will be always under stress. That's the one. Then stress suffered by a shy person. There are certain persons, maybe among us, they are very shy in nature. They know everything. But when they are present in the society, they are not able to express their feeling. Henceforth, they undergo stress. Then, failure in job, when a person who is a qualified person is unable to get the job, it becomes a cause of the stress. Then the family domestic. One is temperamental differences between the wife and husband, which is known to well known well many cases. There are temperamental differences in wife and the husband, that's the cause of stress. Large number of children, cause of stress. Then most important, universally accepted, that is the enmity between spouse and dog, that is the cause of stress. Now, one of the things, and we must know ourselves, educate rather ourselves. The parents have the habit of forcing the likes and dislikes on the grown-up children. When grown-up children, they know everything. But we try to impose our thought, आपने डॉक्टर बनना है, आपने इंजीनियर बनना है, आपने PhD करनी है, ये करना है, वो करना है, आपने ये खेलना है. So we are what is imposing on a grown-up children, and that grown-up children will undergo stress. And then in case of childless family, infertility is one of the causes that is a lifelong stress for the person. Then those persons who are living in a very thickly populated area and always traffic is passing through that is a cause of stress person. Second cause is that you have to reach your destination, you have to board the bus, or you are going by a car. There is a lot of traffic over there, and snail pace, slow and slow, every time there is something or other which is obstructing you. You start from your house in time to reach the destination in time. Unfortunately, you are not able to reach because of the traffic. Therefore, it becomes the cause of stress for the person who is not able to reach his destination in time. Then, now school education. everybody knows heavy, carrying heavy load of books, our strict discipline, long hour teaching, no break, pressure of earning homework and project assignment, holding of the periodic test, and particularly now the students appear for 12th class examination. They want to acquire seats in some medical institution somewhere else, and at that time they are very much stressed that they try their level best to get good marks, and for that they are under stress. Now, this is the job at that question said. This is one kind of stress which is the highest level of stress. A person is very well qualified and he is not able to get either male or female. This is a stress which causes maximum health disorder in the case of individuals. Because you are qualified, you are not able to get the job and you are going to suffer that stress. Now there are certain employees very well in professional college who are more prone to the stress, and those cases in case of their IT professionals, doctor, nurses, accountants, then card keepers. These are the persons who, whenever they, nowadays in Corona cause, what happens, the doctors, nurses, and early, they are exposed to so much stress. So these are the some of professions which are more likely to under people, the person individually to stress. Then some person, say for example a person third case, that generally speaking job stress arises when the job requirement and working condition do not match the worker's capacity, needs, resources. So what happens? A person does MD radiology. He is not able to get job in radiology. He gets job in medicine. So once he gets job in medicine, his job said he will not be satisfied and his resources will not be met. And he will be remain tense all the time. So where I have done radiology MD, I am working in it. So in many cases, other cases it happens. Next video. Now, what is the root cause of the stress? Question arises, what is the root cause of the stress? The root cause of stress is negative thinking. What is the negative thinking? Negative thinking, it is a thought process where a person tends to find worst in each and everything, thereby reducing his expectations by considering worst possible scenario in all conditions and circumstances. चाहे अच्छा भी हो रहा है उसमें भी बुरा सोचते हैं चाहे all hard condition में हो रहा है. So a thought process where person tends to find worst in each and everything, thereby reducing his expectation by considering worst possible scenario in all conditions and circumstances. Now some cases, it also refers to pattern of thinking negatively about you and yourself. Then stress, now what this stress is going to, negative thinking is going to do. Negative thinking is going to do that it is going to reduce mental, emotional and physical strength of the person. Decision making power will be reduced. Efficiency and overall performance. In which case, those persons who think negatively are have negative nature. Now, in contrast to that, let's see the positive nature of the person. Person with positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the brighter side of life and expects positive results. A person with positive thinking anticipates happiness, health, success, and believe that he or she can overcome any obstacle without any difficulty. Now, this is the difference between the two. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples to justify my statement. Now, I'll take only two over the four examples. One, I take two persons working in a company and equally intelligent. They are given assignment by their boss. And boss tells them that you submit by assignment by tomorrow evening. Now one person is with a positive thinking. Second is with the negative thinking. The person with positive thinking, after taking his assignment, goes to his place, sits comfortably, have a cup of tea, completes his assignment and submit it within the stipulated time. Now this is with the positive thinking, nothing has happened. Now person with negative thinking, what happens? The first thing it comes to mind, whether I will be able to complete my assignment with tomorrow or not, the stipulated time or not. If I am not able to submit my assignment, my boss will be angry. If boss will be angry, then what he will do? He will affect my promotion. But he also submits his assignment in time. But he has created a lot of tension for himself, lot of stress for himself. Just for this. Why? Because he is a person with negative nature, and this negativity is going to. So both are intelligent. There is no difference between the two. Only difference between the nature. One is having positive nature, one is having negative nature. And secondly, now another example. Two persons, they want to learn swimming, and they go to coach. Coach gives them a proper training. Very good training to given both of them. Now a day comes when coach tells them, now stand on the side bank of the swimming pool. Now they are standing on the side of the bank pool. The swimming pool, what happens? He tells go and jump. The person with positive thinking, without any thought, he jumps, swims and crosses the pool and is. The second person who is with a negative thinking, he is standing over there person, should I jump or not? If I jump, whether I will be able to swim or not? If I jump, if I am not able to swim, then I will drown. If I am drowned, whether somebody will save me or not? And he stands over there and he doesn't jump. So what is the difference between the two? Both are given coaching, both are trained very well, but man with positive thinking, without caring for anything, he jumps and crosses, and the person with negative thinking stands over there and nothing happens to him. So this is the difference between, I wanted to justify my negativity and positivity. That's next. Now come to what is the steps. We started, first point said that it is a path. What is managing strength? It's a path to increase inner strength. Now we come to the inner strength. Stress is proportional to, in the sign, pressure oblique resilience. Pressure is the situation, pressure is the stress, and resilience is the inner strength. Therefore, a person who has more inner strength can withstand any kind of situation, any kind of pressure whatsoever. So, a person with positive thinking has more inner strength. Therefore, he will not feel pressure and anticipate success and happiness. Whereas a person with negative thinking has less inner strength and feel more pressure, thereby creating stress resulting in the failure. So this is a simple formula. Mean if your inner strength is more, you can face all situations very nicely. But once your inner strength is less, then you will not be able to. Now, what is the inner strength? Inner strength. Inner strength is what? It is an ability to mentally or emotionally cope up with the crisis while dealing with stressful situations. In other words, it is the strength of mind that enables a person to encounter any stressful situation successfully. Precisely speaking, the person who is mentally, physically, and emotionally strong can face or solve any problem without difficulty. Therefore, we being in a society want sin, so whatever maybe things, intelligent person should be mentally, emotionally, and physically strong enough. So this will affect the family also. If you are emotionally strong, you are mentally strong, physically strong, your children will be emotionally strong and they will also be mentally strong. But if you are not, your children will be like step. Next. Now, how to live it? Next. 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 Now, how to manage the stress? Stress is an unavoidable consequence of life. It cannot be completely eliminated, but it can be managed so that life passes smoothly and happily. This can be achieved, number one, by limiting stressor, number two, limit stress impact, number three, free from stress situation. Now, limiting stress was living stress, organize routine life. Organizing routine life means you have to set a timetable from morning till evening and move this in a disciplined fashion. You will not be getting any stress. But if there will be a hard part, you will be always under stress. The differentiate between the wolf in sheep clothing means that there are some person who pretend to be under stress. They pretend to be under due to the wrong interpretation of the situation. If they are told the truth, that their stress melts away. Then comes the de-emphasize the stress to the new interpretation. In this case, what we do, the stress, but change the thought process of the stressed person. Change the thought process of the stressed person by showing him new directions. By showing new direction to get away from the stressful situation. Basically we have to change the thought process of the person so that his thoughts change about the interpretation of the thing and he becomes stressful. So we have to give him the new direction. We have to give them the new direction. Then coming to the limit factor. First we said that what is the limit stressor. Now limit the impact of stressor. Develop a fit and sound body. We all know very well that a weak person has less immunity. Naturally, he is going to be prone to big number of health disorders. But a sound body, healthy body, will have a greater immunity, so he is less prone to the diseases. Therefore, one has to build the fit and a sound body. Cultivate stethoscopic ability. This are more details, very important. Then diffuse the stress in the right way and take the bull to heart mean exactly that deal with the problem in a direct and confident. Deal with our direct and confident. Are free from stress to get away wherever there is stress. Next. Now, what is managing once again? Stones, I'm going ahead more than you. Always keep a positive attitude. Time management saves time as well as stress. One task at a time, not too many tasks. Accept that there are events that are not in your control. Avoid stress-loaded shortcuts. Stress-loaded shortcuts mean exactly what that if you are there is a red light and you want to cross the road, you are in a hurry. You will do like this, and buses, whatever traffic is coming, that traffic will stop at time, and what you are creating is stress at time. Whenever there is a green light, go and cross the road. And secondly, sometimes a train is coming, you try to pass by that road and you are creating stress. These are the shortcuts, what exactly mean. Then avoid stress-loaded shortcut. Alter your schedule so that you have time to eat healthy food, exercise, relax, and sleep. Yes. Adapt to a situation if you cannot change the stressor. Change yourself. You can adapt to a stressful situation and regain the sense of control by changing your expectations and attitude. Assert your feelings, opinions, or beliefs instead of becoming angry, defensive, or passive. Be assertive instead of aggressive. Connect with the people. Spend enough time those who love you. Stay cool, stay focused when you are stressed. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over the other. That's changing immediately some problem from to change them. Next. Now therefore, this is the most important thing which I am talking. Stress coping capability is the training the mind to increase the inner strength. How do you do? The mind is trained, mind training is strengthening of the mind. How we do it? When the mud pot, you already know, the mud pot is baked and baked to become so strong enough to withstand the pressure of the liver pouring. I think it's very clear to you that when the mud is there, you put any kind of liquor, it's not going to burst. Similarly, you have to bake your mind so that your mind can withstand to the pressure of stress. And how? By training the mind. How you train the mind? Number one, by positive thinking, by prayer, by meditation, and by love. From the very beginning, many a time I mentioned positive thinking, positive thinking, positive. What is the positive thinking? Positive thinking means filling the mind with positive, optimistic, and happy thoughts. Reading it over them, negative, pessimistic, and gloomy thoughts. So, if you fill your mind with positive thoughts, optimistic thoughts, and happy thoughts, and get rid of the negative, pessimistic, gloomy thoughts. So, this is going to increase your inner strength. Then prayer, you always pray and surrender yourself to God, and by chanting His name all the time, what happens? That the prayer boosts positive thinking and expel all negative and ideal thoughts. Now, this is the most significant thing. Meditation. Meditation, it is a state of deep sleep. It is a state of deep sleep when the mind is calm and silent. It is a state of consciousness when mind is free of thought and various patterns. It provides lasting feeling of peace and serenity while creating positive changes in our life. It increases concentration, clarity, emotional positivity, and calm to see the free nature of things. It is a path to inner peace, happiness, and strength. So we say that meditation is very important because what it is going to do, your concentration is going to increase, your clarity is going to increase, your emotional positivity is going to, and calm to see the true nature of things. Therefore, I think the most important thing one should go for meditation. Next, that is a very, very good thing, that laughter. Always say laugh, laugh, and laugh, and then you can relax your life. Laughter, what is laughter? It is a series of songs produced in response to joy, amusement, and body sickness. Regular indulgence in the act of laughter acts as a foolproof shield against the harmful pressure of life. So, how much importance is laughter if you keep always happy and smiling? What happens? That you are protected against the harmful pressure. So, what are the benefits? Number one, it relaxes and breaks them for attention. It expands the lung and allows the more air to come in. Now here you see it upgrades body immunity. I go back to that. Once the adrenal gland cortex is affected, corticosteroids are secreted type 1 that increase the sugar level and decreases immunity. Here you see, once you are always laughing in a happy mood, what happens? Your immune mechanism, you upgrade the body immune or defense mechanism. Okay. Then it lowers catecholamine in the blood and promotes the body inflammatory responses. We have seen in the case of the epinephrine being secreted by the adrenal gland, which increases heart rate, respiratory rate. So this is checked by the mechanism. So always go for the laughter. Then some other relaxing factor, that is listening to live music, sound music, music therapy, listening to wind chime, gargling of water, and or gargling of a river. Sometimes I remember back when I was in Srinagar, I used to go to Pelgam and stand by the side of the Dharnala and beautiful, nice was learning a wonderful you used to listen, and so really gives you inner enjoyment. Then is that aromatherapy. Last but not the least, just can be replaced by healthy, happy and peaceful life by adopting the following principles like no anger, only peace, no hatred, only love, no sadness, only happiness, no sorrow, only compassion, no expectation, only acceptance, no negativity, only love. Think positive and be optimistic. Thank you.